are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So, I have a new tooth. I've been chewing with a fucking nub for 2 years now. I didn't even realize it was that long. Probably if I realized it was that long, I would have just got the crown put on in Australia. But I don't pay attention to life. And it's been 2 years since I've been to India, and that's when they took it off last time. But now I have a crown over my nub, and I'm chewing like a madman. I'll give you a tip as well. If you haven't got like a dentist and you're looking for a dentist, I recommend female Indian dentists. They're just like gentle. They're maternal, they're gentle, they take their time, they do it right. The men don't give a shit. They just slap it in, fucking rip it off, whatever. But the Indian ladies, like the lady who took care of me today, it was like just a nice experience. I knew she cared. And I can't say that about the Indian men. I also can't say that about Asian female dentists. Like, you've seen how fucking those tiger mums treat their kids. Fucking forcing them to play the violin and shit. Yelling at them to do math. That's not what you want. They're not maternal. They're not going to look after your tooth. Some fucking bitch, some tiger mum bitch gave me a teeth clean fucking, I think it was a year ago. Before I went to fucking Canada. And I just stopped in. I was like, alright, I'll go with this cunt. I did a fucking episode about it. Ended up with bleeding gums and shit. And she was like, you've got to get this done. You've got to get that done. And then I went to my normal dentist, like about 3 months later. And he's like, you don't need anything done. And I'm like, don't go to Tiger Moms. You want an Indian female dentist. That's the way to go. Except my dentist in Australia is actually Australian. But he's a different fucking thing. He's a orthotropic dentist, which is a whole different thing. Look into orthotropics. That's the dental care you want. They base it on like the evolution of humans and how we've behaved throughout fucking our history. And then they treat you with that in mind. They don't just go in there and start ripping shit out. Anyway, I've been chewing cashews since I got back and the tooth's working good. Usually there's a fucking like adjustment period where the tooth is like finding its fucking feet. But not this one. This one's going hard already. It's fucking great. Because I gave this lady like instructions. I'm like, it's too tight here. It's this, there. She did it like 40 times until it slid in there perfect and now it feels good. Anyway, I'm feeling good. You're feeling good. I've only got like 10 more days in India. Then I've got 2 days in Bali. And then I've got fucking Perth Festival. So I need to start gearing up for that. Anyway, it's Monday. It's the start of another week. Is it the first Monday of the year? It can't be. It's the second. It's got to be the second. Anyway, you know what time it is. It's Boyle time. You should have seen my head waggle then. Anyway, if you have a question you would like answered by one of the greatest minds of the generation or any generation, comedian, philosopher, crane operator, waterproofer, Le Boyle, then head to my website. Everything can be done there. Ask Boyles, Fucked Up Fridays, Patreons. Just go there. BoyleComedy.com. I'll see you over there. I might even fucking chuck up my Perth tickets there. I doubt it. I doubt I'll fucking get them up there. That involves like 3 different steps that I probably will just put off and sell way less tickets than I should. Anyway, I can only work with what I've got, and I don't have a lot. I mean like brain cells. Anyway, let's get to this week's Ask Boyle. So this week's Ask Boyle was sent in by Mike. Just Mike, straight up Mike. And this is the question. If you could turn back time, would you have ever started drinking alcohol? Bearing in mind that you first met your wife when drunk. Wow. Hell, Mikey Mike. You have come to the right place. You know, I was thinking about that just the other day. I think I did a podcast about it years ago where I was like, who's the better person? The person who never drank at all or fucking drank and then love it and then had to quit drinking? I can't remember what I said then, but I definitely think the more heroic thing is to have gone down that path, danced with the devil, and then just gone, nah, I can't do it anymore. The temptation's there, all the reasons in the world are there, but I'm not going to do it. But thinking about that made me think about if I had never drunk, and I was like, would my life have been better if I just never drunk? And what would that have looked like? And I started picturing my life. I was like, what would I have done? Because I'm not like the smartest dude. Like, alcohol and this whole process has taught me so much about like life. Like, because I'm retarded, I need to learn lessons the hard way, it seems. Like, I don't want to learn them the hard way, but it seems that I just don't fucking register them unless I get the shit kicked out of me. And I feel like, and this might just be a cop-out for myself, but I feel like I've needed to do like the bad things to realize they're bad. Like, I think I have a lot of bad in my nature, and maybe my conscience isn't fully developed or I ignore it a bit more, but I was always attracted to like the dark side, and I didn't really feel like there was anything fucking wrong with it until you start doing it and you're like, all right, that doesn't feel good. And then you continue doing it and you don't change and you're like, all right, that doesn't feel good either. That doesn't. And then you just get fucking slammed and you're like, all right, I can't do that anymore. Fuck that. That's not working. And yeah, that's a process I've gone through a lot. And a lot of those realizations have come either through drinking or having quit drinking or gone on breaks or just lived sober for, like, a lot of it has revolved around drinking. And to have learnt these things, like, I don't know if I could have learnt these things just from reading or just from books, or I suppose you can learn these things by challenging yourself in certain ways, but I don't think I had the proclivity or the tenacity to, like, I don't know. I guess if you started a business and that failed and you had a bad time of it in certain ways, or like going after a certain career, possibly. But I don't think you really get down in the depths unless you've got some sort of like drug addiction, some sort of addiction like alcoholism, whatever. You get some real deep insights from rock bottom. Maybe I could have just done it with hallucinogenics. Actually, I feel like it was a combination of hallucinogenics and alcohol. I think maybe the hallucinogenics made me see the problems with the alcohol a little bit clearer. Anyway, to answer your question a little bit clearer, I had like the best times of my life drinking. Like, that is the problem. Like, that's what makes it so hard to stop, is because it's just like 10 out of 10 fun, enjoyment, excitement. Just you look at the world completely differently when you're drunk. Everything can be amazing until it's not. And there comes a time that it's not. Like, I've also thought about it a lot, and as you probably know, I quit drinking for a year when I was like 26 or 27, and then I went back to it. And I really feel like if I had just stopped then at 27, if I had just realized, if I'd been smarter, if I had like some guidance, or I knew what was going on, I would have just knocked it on the head then and just gone the rest of my life not drinking. And I feel like that would have made a little bit of a difference. But like, I'm not unhappy with where I am now. Like, a lot of people would look at me and go, fuck. He truly fucked up. But, you know, I don't even think I want the things that I wanted when I was drinking. I'm much more content with things now. Anyway, that's how I feel. I don't think I would have had as rich an experience of life if I had never drunk. No, definitely not. Like, I had some fucking wild, crazy times. I had some like hellish, nightmarish times as well. But for the most part, up until I was like 25, 26, let's say 25, the good and the fun was outweighing the bad. But then after that, it got a little bit darker. Anyway, thanks for the question, Mike. I hope that helped. That'll do for tonight, and I'll see you the fuck later.